Guys, this shouldn't be happening in any sane society. How do you even begin to justify this? Imagine making time out as a grown-ass man to raid schools in order to evict children with the excuse that they are putting too much pressure on public educational system. Just a tactless ploy by jobless men. An idle mind is indeed the devil's playground. I think it should be clear enough whether or not you're on a righteous mission when those sworn to protect society have to form a wall to protect others from you, to protect children from you. And now even pregnant women near term are being ambushed by other women at public hospitals, warning them to think of other ways or places to give birth and not to step forth in these public health facilities.
Let me say this. Now, today, when you get home, start making arrangements for where are you going to get that baby from? Where are you going to deliver that baby? Because here you are not coming. Pretoria West, you are not coming.
In our government,
we don't want you anymore. Start making arrangements where you are going to deliver the child, because here we don't want you. Yeah, you can go into Ramaphosa's house. He will help you deliver the child.
No, leader, even Julius Malema.
Yeah, even Julius Malema.
Never mind that the average immigrant pays as much taxes as natives, and most who are business owners even pay more taxes than the average South African. But that is not enough to access healthcare. And even if these immigrants don't deserve healthcare from public facilities, just imagine the cruelty in going after someone when they are just moments away from giving birth. And you know this movement is filled with twisted people, because the facilities are not the ones turning the immigrants away. The government hasn't placed any such restrictions. Most of these facilities are willing to offer services to these people. But Dudula is out there warning doctors. I live in a country where civilians just can't walk into a public facility and start giving orders to doctors as to who they can or cannot attend to. This is senseless.
Good morning, my good doctor. How are you? How are you, my good doctor? Anyone who's not a South African citizen, just because of their this side, please stabilize them. After they've been stabilized, you can discharge them. These people, they have too much privileges to have files in our hospital. It ends here and it ends now.
You know, my last video received a lot of backlash from some South Africans. I thought I should give them a bit of face. After all, illegal immigration is a real problem for many countries, and it should be addressed by all means. We have expelled thousands of illegal immigrants for various reasons in this country, mostly criminals, you know, scammers, illegal miners, begging rings, and the likes. I'm not a hypocrite. If South Africa is being overburdened with illegals, then by all means, save your country through policies, a proper legal framework, humane crackdowns, you know, do things with a level of civility, not what we are seeing right now. And so after skimming through dozens of comments and listening to the opinions of other South African creators, I have come to the invariable conclusion that this Dudula movement is founded on a lie. This is an anti-immigration movement under the guise of an anti-illegal immigration movement. They want all black foreign nationals out, and they prove that every single day with their attacks on legal migrants, many of whom are now forced to carry their stay permits on hand. But that is not enough to stop these assaults.
What are you going to do about it? You're not going to enter here. You're not going to enter here. I have an ID.
Businesses with valid permits are still being shut down. And just this week, we saw 3 innocent foreign business owners gunned down in broad daylight. Meanwhile, they are accusing black migrants of being the main source of crime. And somehow killing innocent business owners makes things better. Come on. Now, if you've been following my channel for a while now, then you know my views on migration. I am not a big fan. The idea of leaving my country to become a minority elsewhere is a no-go. I've said that repeatedly on this platform. I even find more ridiculous the Africans that leave the continent to seek citizenship in Western countries, wanting to get a sense of entitlement to things your ancestors never built. I find that to be pathetic and weak. And so in that regard, you could say my views are somewhat tangential to that of these Dudula maniacs. Of course, I am not so pathetic as to support the attacks on immigrants, whether legal or illegal. I will not support tax-led schemes to frustrate immigrants, using their children or pregnant women as a weapon. That's just disgraceful. And I especially don't support calls for similar things to be done against South Africans living in other countries. One should never compromise their principles to respond to the unprincipled. What these protesters should be doing is persuading their policymakers to act. I mean, what kind of country is this? You have 400 MPs. Use them. Where is the beauty in running around half naked, chanting prehistoric war songs? These guys. But God, this is one of the most educated countries in Africa, apparently. And this is one of the leaders championing the all-important Dudula movement. Listen to him speak.
The constitution.
We will change.
We will change the constitution.
We will change.
We are self-appointing ourselves to unite this nation. We will change this constitution. And if this country is capable of giving one South African every year for the rest of their life 1 million rand a year.
We afford it. It's just that they hide it from us.
Lelizwe macingwane lingakwazi ukunikeza umuntu ngamunye wakulelizwe u1 million njalo ngonyaka impilo yakhe yonke.
And I believe that.
So we are going to fight for that.
This is what you call the voice of laziness and foolishness. Now, before I give you my 2 cents on what he's saying, his followers are actually buying this. This is what some of them are saying in the comment section of this particular video. Someone asked a very reasonable question. Where will the money come from? He wasn't spared. Someone responded, people who are stealing billions every day, where are they getting the money from? Another person said, under your nose, politicians are stealing millions and you're asking where the money will come from. Another responded, money will come from minerals if mines are nationalized. Foreigners are allowed to come in actually to distract the economy. I also want apartheid system back. Someone else said, you can choose to embarrass yourself and say name. Where do the politicians' salaries come from? So these guys actually believe this nonsense their leaders are peddling. I feel dumb even trying to debunk this guy's historic level of ignorance.
Do you know what South Africa is so rich? How many people are here in South Africa? Almost 100 million people in here in South Africa. Okay. So what is the GDP of South Africa? It's more than billions of rands. I'm saying if this government, if these people of South Africa come together, this country can afford to give each and every South African 1 million rand a year for the rest of their lives. We are so rich.
South Africa has a population of 63 million people. Okay, they are not approaching 100 million people. He doesn't even know that as a South African. Now, multiply 63 million by 1 million, and that's roughly $3.7 trillion. 9 times the GDP of South Africa. That's how much it would cost to implement this lazy coyote's idea. And he's actually a frontline leader of this movement. Can you imagine? And it's like they are forgetting their economy, for the most part, is in the hands of white South Africans. They own everything, don't they? So even if this plan was feasible, they would have to get the money from white folks, which leads me to wonder why these guys aren't going after them. Follow the money. If this doesn't scream hypocrisy, then I don't know what does. And amidst all of this, he even came out to challenge his followers to give him about 3 million rand. That's roughly $180,000. So he could go and man the borders. And I don't blame this guy very much, because some people are actually joining this movement with the dumbest reasons you can think of. I've seen interviews where people are complaining about a lack of girlfriends as their motivation for going out to protest.
Mandela was felt strongly about having open borders, about welcoming Africans from across the continent. What do you think about that?
I think that is the highest level of sellout. You can't, when South Africans were in exile, they were in camps, and they were restricted to go to other parts of those countries. So why do you allow foreigners to go all over in South Africa and run business and make girlfriends? And I mean, South Africans, they can't even have their own girlfriends because the foreigners have taken over the girlfriends space.
Out of the abundance of the hearts, the mouth speaks, right?
Anymore. These girls who are sleeping with foreigners, they must never think they're going to control us. This is our country.
You know, they say don't hate the player, hate the game, or at least find a cheat code around it. But you know, this is a common theme within societies that discriminate against other ethnicities or races. The same thing is going on in the United States. Okay, I've seen a trend of white women complaining about being questioned about their dating history by white men when they go out for the first time. Apparently, they usually want to know if the white girls have dated black people in the past, because that bothers them in some way. So some South Africans seem to be suffering from this syndrome as well. So the central anchor here, the one thing keeping these people together, is their collective disdain towards black people from other countries. And I'm even more convinced now that I have seen dozens of South Africans come out to call out this movement and shaming it for what it is. And meanwhile, unemployed doctors are having their own protests, but they are not blaming foreigners, obviously. They are marching towards the union buildings, trying to register their plight. Education makes a difference in approach, it seems. Ironically, some of the Dudula guys are blaming foreigners for putting a strain on the public health sector, whilst doctors are sitting home looking for employment. Connect the dots. And I didn't even know this, but I've now seen some political wildcards like Julius Malema strongly condemning this movement. So it turns out it is not as popular among South Africans as I even imagined in the first place. It is just a case of a loud, angry minority going on a rampage.